Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this meeting of the Sterling Heights City Council to order. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them courage and wisdom to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Riska. Can we please have the roll call?
Mayor Taylor?
Here.
Mrs. Sarowski?
Here.
Mrs. Koski?
Present.
Mr. Radke?
Present.
Mrs. Schmidt?
Present.
Mr. Yanes?
Here.
Mrs. Yerko?
Present.
Thank you, Council. We need approval of the agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Koski.
move to approve the agenda.
Support.
Been moved and supported. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First item on our agenda tonight is a report from our city manager. Our city manager is not here tonight, but in his absence is our Assistant City Manager, Jeff Bohorsky. Mr. Bohorsky.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to start with a friendly reminder to the public that city offices will be closed on Monday, February 21st for President's Day. This closure affects City Hall, Sterling Heights Public Library, Community Center, Senior Center, Nature Center, and the 41A District Court. There will be no delays in the GFL refuse collection schedule. Next, I'd like to highlight the efforts of our Finance and Budget Director, Jennifer Varney, to assist local businesses who have been affected by a very punitive financial result created under existing state personal property tax law. Largely through city efforts, spearheaded by Jennifer, there is some hope that through new state legislation, our local businesses can avoid this very costly outcome. Mayor, at this time, I'd like to have Mrs. Varney provide a very brief presentation.
Mrs. Varney.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Mr. Bohorsky, and Mr. Koszubski. As you may recall, the state of Michigan passed legislation in 2012 that exempted property used in manufacturing from personal property taxes. This exemption was phased in over 7 years, which began in 2016. Eligible property will be 100% exempt after the upcoming 2022 tax year. This legislation included reimbursement for municipalities that essentially guaranteed the continued receipt of personal property tax revenue at 2016 levels. This payment is received from the state of Michigan each year and involves a complex calculation performed by the Michigan Department of Treasury. Eligible businesses are required to file a form with the city every year in February to receive this exemption. The current legislation does not allow for late filings. If the form is not received by the city in time, the business does not receive the exemption for that year. I would like to note, however, that this is a temporary problem, and recent legislation passed in December will require that beginning in 2023, manufacturers will only need to claim the exemption for an item of property one time. They would then be required to rescind the claim if no longer qualified. But in the meantime, as you can imagine, a missed deadline can be very costly for a business. And there is nothing that we as the city can do to provide relief. State law is clear that there is no procedure to accept late filings. Unfortunately, this year, 14 out of the 225 eligible businesses in the city of Sterling Heights did not file their exemption form on time. This resulted in a larger than expected tax bill for these businesses, which in some cases could threaten the viability of the business. One business in particular owed over $800,000 more in local property taxes than the year before due to the misfiling. City administration wanted to find a way to help these businesses and contacted our state legislatures in July to encourage a solution that would provide relief while at the same time protecting our property tax reimbursement from the state. We were very pleased when Senator Michael McDonald introduced Senate Bills 805 through 807 in January that provide a mechanism for businesses who miss the deadline to claim the exemption for each year, while at the same time requiring a recalculation of the personal property tax reimbursement to ensure the city, as well as the county, school districts, and other taxing jurisdictions do not lose out on this critical revenue. And although we recognize that there are complications to this recalculation that will need to be considered, we are in full support of the search for a solution. We will continue to monitor progress on these bills and will communicate with our business community and report back to City Council on any final resolution. I thank you for your time and am available for any questions.
So Mayor, that concludes our city manager's report for the evening.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Ms. Varney on that legislative update? If not, thank you, Ms. Varney. Appreciate that and appreciate the work that Senator McDonald did to help those businesses and the other reps from the city of Sterling Heights. So with that, we'll move on to the next item on our agenda tonight, which is a presentation, and this is to adopt a resolution recognizing and congratulating the Pierrabon family on the milestone of reaching 45 years of successful business operations. We have a presentation from our Assistant City Manager, Jeff Bohorsky. Mr. Bohorsky.
Thank you, Mayor. I have the privilege of presenting the Pierrabon family for recognition tonight for 45 years of successful business operations, with many of those years based in the city of Sterling Heights. If I could have Marco and Aiden Pierrabon step forward to the podium, I'll highlight their business legacy in Sterling Heights. The Pierrabon family own and operate Luckmar Plastics and Accutech Mold and Engineering from 4 facilities located on Stanley Drive in Sterling Heights. Accutech Mold and Engineering recently achieved the milestone of 45 years of successful business operations, so it is fitting to recognize and congratulate the Pierrabon family tonight. Luckmar Plastics is a full-service, high-volume, custom injection molder with the capability to develop a design from concept to finished products. Luckmar Plastics can produce almost any injection molded plastic part you can imagine. Using the ISO 9001 quality system, Luckmar Plastics personnel are trained for complex tasks such as light assembly and fabrication in the automotive, OEM, and sporting goods markets. Luckmar Plastic continues to rely upon the in-house talent of Accutech Molded Engineering for designing, machining, and repairing all tools, which is essential to the company's just-in-time delivery. Luckmar Plastic specializes and is known for returnable packaging for the automotive industry, transportation products, and recently acquired new business in the refrigeration appliance industry. From its humble beginnings in 1976 to now, Luckmar Plastics and Accutech Mold and Engineering have remained family-owned and operated. Founder Luciano Pierrabon has passed operating control of the businesses to Marco, who is now being ably assisted by Aiden, a graduate of Oakland University with a Bachelor of Science degree in engineering. The city is most appreciative of the positive impact that the Pierrabon family businesses have had on Sterling Heights, not only for their sustained record of business success, but because of the commitment to staying rooted in this community, providing countless jobs and a positive economic impact on the local economy. So I know City Council is going to join me in saying thank you for 45 years and a wish for 45 more great years. So Mayor, that concludes my presentation.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Bohorsky. I'm going to turn the microphone over to you in a second so you can say anything you want and give us a little bit of a rundown about your business. But first, I'm going to come down there and meet you for a quick photo. We do have a resolution tonight, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but we just want to congratulate you on 45 years and thank you for being here, part of the city of Sterling Heights, and wish you success as you continue on. So if you want to. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anything you want to say?
Sure. Real quick. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my father and myself, my son, and my company, I thank you for this recognition. It truly means a lot to us. We've been in Sterling Heights we've been in business for 45 years, and Sterling Heights for 41 years. When my dad first purchased the 4 lots in 1981, we never realized what it would be like to be in business for 45 years, and the trials and tribulations and the successes and the enjoyment at times that we've had. The city of Sterling Heights has been instrumental in our past and current success. We've enjoyed our location and benefit from the services that are being offered. We look forward to the future, and we enjoy calling Sterling Heights our home. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And council, we do have a resolution.
Mayor Taylor?
Mrs. Sarowski.
Resolved to adopt the resolution recognizing and congratulating the Pierbon family on the milestone of reaching 45 years of successful business operations.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
Just very briefly, congratulations. Thank you for making Sterling Heights your home. And as Mayor Taylor said, we hope that you do continue to keep Sterling Heights your home for another 45 more years. Thank you again. Yep, and that's all.
Thank you, Mrs. Sarowski. Council, anyone else? With no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you again and congratulations. Next item on our agenda tonight is a swearing-in ceremony for new Sterling Heights police officers. I'll introduce our police chief to the podium, Chief Dale Wojciechowski. Chief.
All right, welcome. Another great night. We have 5 brand-new officers here. But good evening, Mayor Taylor, members of council, Mr. Bohorsky, appreciate it. As you know, for the first time in my career as the police chief, we got to full staffing with our last batch of hires back in January. First time we've been at full staffing, because with retirements, you can never seem to get to full staffing. We are fully staffed. These 5 officers represent the 7 additional officers that you as council authorized through the closing of our jail facility. And going to the Macomb County Sheriff's Department, we were able to save enough money to hire 7 new additional officers. I thank you for that. These are 5 of those 7. We still have 2 more officers to go in a couple months. We have so many new officers in the pipeline, we can only have so many trainers at a time. So I thank you so much for allowing us to move forward in the budget process. And this is what we have. This is a result of your actions and the funding, and we have 5 brand new officers. And not only new officers, highly qualified officers. From my left to my right, starting off with Anthony Vaccaro. It says, do not call him Tony, and I have 2 exclamation points. He went to Clawson High School, Oakland Community College. He has an Associate's of Science there in 2013. He went to the Macomb Police Academy in 2020. Became a Macomb County dispatcher, Macomb County Sheriff's Department dispatcher for 4 years, so he knows the county and he knows Sterling Heights. And he became a fully certified deputy, a road deputy in 2020, and he served in that capacity until yesterday when we swore him in. He became a Sterling Heights police officer. So welcome, Anthony. To his right there, his left, Ryan Wisniewski. And if the name sounds familiar, it is. Ryan grew up here in Sterling Heights. He went to De La Salle High School, and he is the son of retired Officer Chris Wisniewski is here tonight, and his wife, and nephew of Jim Wisniewski. So his dad and his uncle were both Sterling Heights cops, the Wisniewski brothers. We know them well. Ryan went to Grand Valley State University, Bachelor's of Science in 2020. Then he joined the Detroit Police Academy. He became a Detroit police officer in 2020. Give you a lot of credit for that. So he served some time in Detroit. Now he's back here in his own backyard. And to his next is Nicholas Page. Grew up in Sterling Heights kid. Went to Stevenson, Oakland University, bachelor's degree in 2015. He joined the U.S. Army National Guard, became a corporal there, military police. Thank you so much for your service, Nicholas. Then he joined the West Bloomfield Township Police Department as a service aide for a couple years. And then in 2019 became a fully certified police officer for West Bloomfield. And now you're a Sterling Heights police officer. And our next officer up here, Officer Autumn Fettig, went to Utica High School, then Madonna University, Bachelor's of Arts in 2014. She's currently working on her master's degree. I had Autumn as one of my students at Macomb Community College in my terrorism class many years ago. So it's so great to see Autumn here. She's went to Macomb Community College Police Academy in 2014, and she also teaches at the Oakland Police Academy. So we're so happy to have you, Autumn. And finally, Elliot Bryce. Went to Warren Woods High School, Warren Woods Tower High School, then Macomb Community College for his associate's degree. Became a East Point Public Service aide from 2015 to 2017, and then joined the Macomb County Sheriff's Department as a corrections officer, served there for 3 years, and then a fully certified deputy in 2020. So as you can see, a ton of experience, a ton of education. We are very, very happy. Again, Sterling Heights hiring from every single neighboring jurisdiction in Metro Detroit. They've come here to call Sterling Heights their home. And it really humbles me to think all of us, these guys are going to be here for 25 years. I will be long gone. Most of us will not be here serving in our current capacity in 25 years, but they will be out here working and protecting the residents of Sterling Heights. So this is a long-term commitment that the city is making, and they're making by changing jobs and coming here to Sterling Heights. So we appreciate that. So with that, we'll go ahead and do the swearing in. So go ahead and raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States. And that of the state of Michigan. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of police officer. In and for the city of Sterling Heights. And that I will strive to maintain the highest standards of that department. To the best of my knowledge and ability. Congratulations. All right, Anthony, if you'd like to come up here and say a few words.
So the chief did a pretty good job of introducing myself. I came from the sheriff's office. I did 5 years total there. I started in dispatch, worked in the jail, then I went to the road. I just want to thank the council and the city of Sterling Heights. I'm really looking forward to this opportunity. Thank you.
Ryan Wisniewski. I just want to first off saying thank you, council, thank you, Mr. Mayor, thank you, chief, thank you, family coming out. Growing up here, I'm just, excited to be back and looking forward to serve the community I grew up in. So thank you.
First off, I want to thank everyone for coming, family, chief, council, mayor, thank you. Chief introduced me pretty well. I grew up in the city, very excited to be back, be able to serve the community I grew up in, and thank you for the opportunity.
I just wanted to thank my family for coming and all of you for giving me this opportunity to start my career here. I'm very excited. I didn't grow up here, but close. I grew up in Shelby. I worked there for 6 years, and I'm excited to begin my career here. Thank you.
Bryce Elliott, I would just like to thank the mayor, all city council here, my family, the chief as well. And I would just like to make you guys proud for the next 25 years of service. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Chief, thank you very much. Council, anyone have any comments or anything to say? Mrs. Sarowski.
I will take the first stab at it. So welcome to all of you. I think this is an extra special group. You all have very interesting and already storied pasts, and we look forward to your storied futures. I have to say, Mr. Wisniewski, good to see you. I know your family, and you're certainly a De La Salle boy. All of my boys went to De La Salle, so I can't say he's my favorite, but maybe. But to all of you, congratulations and welcome. We are so glad to have you. We're very proud of you already, and we know that you will do good things. And thank you for coming to help protect our city. You're welcome.
Thank you. Council, anyone else? Did you graduate with Nick? Same year? I thought that might be the case. I was trying to do the math in my head when he said Grand Valley 2020. Look, we're really excited to have the 5 of you here. We thank you for coming to the city of Sterling Heights. We've done countless swearing-in ceremonies over the past 7 or 8 years, and we're always very excited to have new officers come in. I say it every time. I'll say it again. You guys know what you're getting into. Either you have family who have served here, you grew up in Sterling Heights, or you know the department by reputation. And that reputation is now yours to guard, to hold in trust, and to do everything that you can to protect and defend this city, and not just this city, but the reputation of this police department, because for generations, men and women of our police department have earned that reputation as one of the best in the state of Michigan and around the country. You wouldn't be here if we didn't think that you could live up to that expectation. You have a very important job to do. We're going to do whatever we can to support you. And I can promise you that the 134,000 residents of the city of Sterling Heights love our police department, are proud of the work that you do, and they will allow us to support you in any way that we can. You've got a great police chief. You've got great police administration. The mayor so-so, but the city council and the administration will do anything that we can to keep this city the safe city that it is. And so we want to thank you for your dedication, your public service. We wish you Godspeed and good luck. Stay safe, keep us safe, and that's it. So, Chief, you can dismiss them to the back, take some pictures, have some some dinner with your family, enjoy the night, and we'll see you at work tomorrow morning. All right? Thank you very much. Okay, you guys don't have to stay. It gets exciting. You're going to miss a lot.
Be exciting.
Hurry home. We're on channel 5 and 10, I believe.
Yeah, you played.
Special meeting minutes.
Okay, we'll take just a second to let the audience clear out.
Good catch.
Okay, next item on our agenda tonight is the consent agenda. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on any item on tonight's consent agenda? Mr. Nelson.
Just up to kind of highlight item J. This is wonderful. I asked the rest people out here listening right now if they heard a statement that said to adopt a notice of intent resolution for capital improvement bonds for water projects, whether they would understand it. Okay, now that's not even the dollar value. I go back and pull the backup material on this, and it's pretty clear. This is something that the council decided to budget last fiscal year, and it's just going ahead and adding $12.5 million debt to the city of Sterling Heights. This is not one like the recreating recreation or anything that was approved by the voters. This one is going to increase your rates, water rates and sewer rates, in order to pay back this $12.5 million. There wasn't a lot of discussion on that even back then. Just the Michigan Municipal Finance Act requires the city council to adopt a notice of intent resolution, declares the city's intent to authorize the issuance and sale of one or more series of general obligation limited tax bonds pursuant to Act 34. We all know what that is. To pay for all the parts of the cost to acquire, construct, furnish, and equip city's water supply system with new water meters. Further on here, it says water meters, new water lines or water mains. So there's different information depending on what you're reading. City's Bond Council, Miller, Canfield, Paddock, and Stone has drafted the attached notice of intent for the resolution for the city council adoption to meet the requirements of state law. So the next thing that they show is they show the notice of intent capital improvement bonds for a water project by the city. In that, they actually state that this is a debt. That's the only place in the 6 pages or 7 pages of backup material. The maximum principal amount of debt expected to be issued for the project, including issuance cost, is $12,500,000. That's all I get. That's for the city council. That's what they're doing tonight. The other thing was the what's going to appear in the paper. Notice of 2 electors of the city of Sterling Heights intent to issue bonds secured by the taxing power of the city and of right of referendum thereon. In this, they say there's $12,500,000 for the purpose of paying all or part of the cost to acquire, the same thing as before. Source of payment of bonds, principal and interest on said bonds shall be payable from the general fund of the city, lawfully available for such purposes, including property taxes levied. Next thing is right of referendum. Now, this is very important because that goes along with what just happened with the one ordinance. The bonds will be issued without a vote of the electors unless a petition requesting such a vote signed by not less than 10% of the registered electors of the city is filed with the city clerk. There's more of this. So in other words, we can all come up here and we can say, we want to get another petition going. So that's the people's way of turning the legislation that's done by the city council. That's the way that we have, the only way that we have. And it takes one vote or one set of votes tonight
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Appreciate
One
your
set of
comments.
votes tonight, and it takes people 45 days to
Okay.
sign all the petitions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nelson. Anyone else under the consent agenda? If not, I'll close that portion. Council, we need a motion?
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Kosky.
move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Been moved and supported with no discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is to consider appointments to the City of Sterling Heights boards and commissions. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on this item? If not, council, there are a few appointments that need to be made. I think 3 separate boards. The first is the Ethnic Community, 4 actually, the Ethnic Community Committee. This is an open seat. The mayor has the power of appointment to a partial term ending June 30th, 2022. I'd like to nominate Nikita Jones for the Ethnic Community Committee. Is there anyone who would make that appointment for me?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Radke.
resolve to appoint on the advice of the mayor, Nikita Jones,
Nikita Jones.
to the Ethnic Community Committee to a term ending June 30th, 2022, as the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Charter subsection 4.03 and taking the oath of office within 2 weeks.
Support.
Support. It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? With no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, council. Next is the Community Alliance Commission. This is a city council appointment to a partial term ending June 30th, 2023. Is there anyone who'd like to make an appointment to the Community Alliance Commission?
Mayor Taylor,
Mrs. Schmidt.
resolve to appoint Cynthia Bornson to the Community Alliance Commission to a term ending June 30th, 2023, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Charter 4.03 and taking the oath of office within 2 weeks.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? With no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the Election Commission. This is a city council appointment to a partial term ending June 30th, 2023. Is there anyone who'd like to make an appointment?
Mayor Taylor,
Mrs. Sarowski.
resolve to appoint Teresa Leslie Robinson to the Election Commission to a term ending June 30, 2023, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Charter subset 4.03 and taking the oath of office within 2 weeks.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion?
No.
With no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last is the Solid Waste Management Commission. This is a council appointment to a partial term ending June 30th, 2024. Council, is there anyone who'd like to make an appointment to the Solid Waste Commission?
Mayor Taylor,
Mrs. Zarko.
resolve to appoint Zachary Overman to the Solid Waste Management Commission to a term ending June 30th, 2024, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Charter 4.03 and taking the oath of office within 2 weeks.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. Any discussion? With no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, that concludes that portion of our agenda tonight. Now we will move on to communications from citizens. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak on any item not on tonight's agenda? Mr. Nelson?
First of all, I'd like to say that the Planning Commission meeting of last week was a disgrace to all the people that live in those R80 lots right behind them. They're going to back up to a 5-story building. And the amount of space between that, Mayor Taylor, I think it'd be right on the other side of the retention pond that's back behind your house. 5 stories. Okay, I don't think it's going to affect the sunshine on that particular side, but I've never seen so much crammed into 8 acres. 150, I believe it's 158 apartments in that 5-story building, 3 commercial areas. We already have traffic problems. People were complaining about that. It wasn't listened to. I said it before at the your planning meeting, and it needs to be said is listen to people. The people live there. Okay, if they move stuff like that behind your house, and that's what you had to look at, it's all coming back to the city council. that brought up another point, that our minutes for our meetings, all the public bodies, all of our commissions are public bodies. I brought this up originally when it came to the compensation committee, and they only meet once every 2 years, and that's when you get meeting minutes. So city clerk did as I had requested and put unofficial, was it unofficial or proposed meeting minutes?
She's not-
Oh, okay, all right.
We'll get you an answer.
All right. Public bodies shall make proposed minutes available for public inspection within 8 business days after the meeting to which the minutes refer. The public body shall make approved minutes available for public inspection within 5 business days after the meeting at which the minutes are approved. What I'm saying is, things like the Planning Commission, which meets once a month. I think the last one was February 9th. They have 8 business days to get something. Now, if it's available and I can come purchase it, I'll be more than happy to do that. And I'll just go ahead and put it on the web myself. But we have to do it within 8 business days. Okay, that's the act. That's all I have. I hope you guys really consider what you're doing when this development comes in front of you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nelson. Anyone else under communications from citizens? All right, if not, we'll close that portion and go on to reports from city administration. Anything tonight, Mr. Bohorsky?
Nothing additional, Mayor.
Mr. Koszybski?
No closed session, Mayor.
Council, any reports, unfinished business, new business? Nothing? Good, because I got a lot, so. No, all right. I'm satisfied with my business. So I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Amen.